Hello everyone. Voin class hian English grammar lesson 5 verbs kan en ho dona textbook nei chuan in lo ke ve don nia verbs. Verbs show action, state of being and possession. Verb chu action te tilanga chuan in state of being om dana te tilanga chu mai ba ka possession athil nei te atilang thina ni chu kan lo zir to china verb to action tilang tu ni ti kan sha ma se chu mai ba ka ta hian state of being le possession te po atilang ti kan zir thar le don ani. Verbs can be divided into these categories: principal and auxiliary verbs, transitive and intransitive verbs, finite and non-finite verbs. Heng chi shang verbs hi kan en chiang le anga. Next page. Principal and auxiliary verbs kan en pot ton ni. Principal or main verbs. Principal or main verbs. These verbs stand alone. Tiang verb chu an manin amalin an ding not hebi kani chu. For example, the puppy is naughty. He wrote a letter. She arrived at 10 a.m. They have a big house. In these sentences, the highlighted verbs express a complete meaning. They agree with the person and number of the subject of the sentence and also show the time of the activity. Heng sentence hianin atak de ule ka inzia khaw zong kha khang verb khanin complete meaning. A complete in a omzia aron shilfia a person athil ti tu nen khanin anin thurwal thlap ani chu ti chuanin ta hian heng sentence hianin a hun te an thil ti ati kha chiang tewin a thailang bawk ani chu wangin principal or main verb kan ti ni chu adot le auxiliary verbs. These verbs cannot stand alone. Heng verb ve thung hi chu an ma ni in an ding ve theilawa. For example, the dog is barking. He is writing a letter. She will come at 10 a.m. In these sentences, the highlighted verbs do not express a complete meaning. They help the main verbs, the underlined verbs, to complete the meaning of the sentence. Heng sentence hawa hianin heng atak de ule ka inziak verb ho hianin meaning an omzia kha avain an shilfia zo ve lovani ma se an pui zok ta ni chu main verb kha principal main verb kha an pui ve zoka an underline ho kha ti chuanin khatia an pui azara khanin sentence kha omzia ani fam kim ta ni chu hetilaya the puppy is naughty tile the dog is barking hi nge an lo na in lo ti mai thea the puppy is naughty ti hi chu puppy kha aswal ani atita ami zia kha chu chu ani ti khamiran shilfia ma se the dog is barking ta hi chuan dog khanin action word mo athil ti kha lo soi mai ani chu chu wangin an lo na ka te kha. Auxiliary verbs are of two kinds: primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Auxiliary verb hi chini a om ve le chonga. Primary auxiliary kan en photanga. Primary auxiliary, these are the primary auxiliary verbs in English. Heng ho hi primary auxiliary verbs chunya enila be noya hianin present tense chuan am is are honya chuan past tense chuan was were anita tiro do anita do khanin present tense chuan do le does aninga past tense chuan did chuan have present tense has le have aninga past tense chuan had. Heng ho hi chin chaila when the verb be, do or have is followed by the main or the principal verb, it is an auxiliary verb. When these verbs occur alone in a sentence, they become the principal or the main verb. Heng verb be, te, do, te, have noya verb ho hi main verb in a chun zom chuan auxiliary verb ani chin ni chu. For example, Rohan is a good student. Tahanin is a good student ani nakaron soila chu wangin main verb ani de don ta ni nachin ka soyang khan tiro principal verb ani ta de ta a chuan Rohan is writing a letter ta chuan a action ka athil tia ka atilang ve de thung ta helping verb aron ni ta de ta ni chu. Next page. Model auxiliaries kan en ve lenga. These are the model auxiliary verbs in English. Can, must, may, might, will, would, should, must, shall, should, and ought to. Heng ho hi lo chin cha ula. Heng ho hi model auxiliary verbs anita. They are used with other verbs to express probability, determination, ability, obligation, possibility, wishes, and so on. Heng verb ho hi verb dang nen kan man polin thil sang sang an thil ti tumate an ti cha kate tiang zong zong kha chiang le zwalin aron tilang le thin ani chu. Model auxiliaries cannot be used alone. They need a principal verb to complete the meaning. Kan siya tur chu tiang ang model auxiliaries hi an mani in an ding theilowa an mani in man an ni theilowa principal verb na china kan zir to kha kami mang khanin model auxiliaries chu an ding thei chau ani. For example, Radha is late. She may be sleeping. Tahan possibility thil thleng mai thei thil ni thei mai thei chau aron soya ni chu o may ti mana wangin. I should wash my clothes today. Tahan should hi obligation athil ti nge nge ngai. He can drive a car. Can yan ability athil ti thei aron tilangani tiro. Can I shut the door? Tahanin zona zot tade ve thung can ti word thau khanin. You should obey your parents. Should ani wangin mi advice kan pe ti tur kan shilani chu. Could I leave early today, sir? Tahanin permission kan deal nan kan mang ve thunga ti chuan tobera Rajan will always be late. Tahi chuanin a habit athil ti chin ngai le ngai soi nan aron mang ve thunga ni chu asira note kha in lo char tel bok don nya. Ole kha model auxiliaries chu ne sha thya ma har lo ti ro thil an ti ngai te permission an deal na te chuanin ngai le ngai an lo ti chin an habit te thil ni thei mai thei possibility te khang sang sang soinan model auxiliaries hi kan mang chin ani. Dot le exercise kha en lo kila number A. Identify the primary auxiliary verbs and the model auxiliary verbs. Tahanin auxiliary verbs tini. Primary auxiliary verb le model auxiliary verb kha kan siyang to boka. Sentence tina hianin kan identify don ta ni chu. Entirna number 1. You must be very tired after the long drive. Hei hi must must ti amang ta a tiro chu wangin kha mishing kha athil ni thei possibility a oma wangin hei hi model auxiliary verb aloni da de ta ni chu must ti kha. Number 2. This is a true story. Tahan is oma wangin enge kha primary auxiliary verb. Tiang khanin adang ho zong po kha a verb pakhadula in lo underline nga ti chuanin engjok nge ani in lo ziak zel don ani chu o. Notebook a in ti ngai mai theya notebook a ti in lo tum don nya. Number B. Fill in the correct auxiliary verb to complete these sentences. Tahanin verb dik khain lo ziak nga in lo thanga nga ti chuanin a blank a hianin in lo ziak don ani chu o. Number 1. I blank working late tonight. Tahan do nge ni nga am nge is I milber kha I am working late tonight anyang tiro tiang khan adang ho po kha blank ka khanin auxiliary verb adik ber kha in lo thanga nga in lo ziak zel don nya hei hi chu textbook a hianin in lo ti theyang. next page mi nen khan in lo ti chun zum don nia aw ti chuan exercise A le B kha homework a in lo ti nga langa chuanin kha zong kha void kan lesson chu ani a harsat na mo sha thiam lop nei inamani chuanin min lo hril don nia aw